Live from San Diego, this is KUSI News.
The city of San Diego could ban landlords from overcharging tenants for utilities. Recently, owners were accused of charging more than their fair share. Here to talk about the new legislation, California real estate broker Mark Powell. Mark, good to see you as always.
Hey, Jason.
You know this topic very thoroughly, and you're obviously passionate about it. We've been talking off camera. Tell everybody what this is about.
Well, there's a new rule that's going to force the landlords to let the tenants know what their water bill is, which is not a bad thing. People would want to know how much they have to spend on water and how it's metered up. But we haven't really heard anything in the industry where we feel like there's this gouging of renters for utilities. This is all looks like it's stemming from that trash tax, because what renters are now realizing is that even though they were renters and they may have said, well, you know, I'm a renter, I don't have to pay for this trash tax, landlords are now passing this fee, this roughly $50 fee, to the tenants. So they go, so what other fees are we getting? Like, what about the water fee? So it's actually exacerbated this whole trash tax thing. And now we have our politicians going, well, what are we going to do about this? Well, maybe it's the landlords, but it's not really the landlords. I haven't heard in the industry, and I've been in it for 2 decades, where there's people complaining about gouging. And if they were, why all of a sudden now? Was it a problem a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago? It just seems like this is all kind of culminating around this new fee that's going to make housing less affordable and rent less affordable.
Yeah, well, it sounds like what you're saying is that the tenant who signed up for a certain amount of rent payment every month, now they're getting an extra $50, but they're not using the water, they're not using the trash. I'm saying they are using, but the landlord's not. So why wouldn't the landlord pass that on to the tenant?
Of course, and also when it comes to metering water in a complex, okay, so many of these complexes, say there's 20 units, there's one water supply. So let's say it's 20 units with 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Yeah, you take 1 shower a day, but the guy upstairs takes 7 showers a day. So what the landlords typically try to do is they get the water bill and they go, okay, we're going to split it up 20 ways, everybody pays, regardless of what that water consumption is. Now, if they really wanted to know what that water use is, they have to replumb everything and meter everything separately. It's so expensive for the landlords, and we're looking at about 280,000 people are renters. So, and who's going to monitor this, and who's going to enforce this rule? And what if somebody does accuse a renter of overcharging them? Where does that go?
This is all approved by the city council, right?
It was unanimously voted on by the city council.
They're just trying to they're trying to close a budget deficit. It doesn't seem like they care about this. Wherever they can get the money, man, they're going for it.
Well, it probably will be approved by the mayor. It's not a bad thing to let renters know,
sure,
hey, here's how much you're going to pay, and here's how, you know, we are going to split it up. But now that's more administrative things for the landlords. Like, they've got to get the bill, mail the bill, tell the renters how they're being split up. And so that even might add more costs, because every time you add another rule or thing, that always gets passed on to the renter.
Well, you know what? In my neighborhood, in my HOA, all of a sudden there's a big truck driving through and they're dropping off these new compost bins.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anybody in my neighborhood who's using them. They just shove them out back and forget about them. But you got to keep them out of sight. So if you put them out back, they're not there. But it's just another thing.
Compost bins, and also we had those little ones you're supposed to put your food scraps in. But I do think that the city is. The idea is good to let people know, hey, this is how much we're paying. But the reality is, it's probably a solution looking for a problem. I don't really think that there's that big of a problem. But what we do know is San Diego Gas and Electric was accused of overcharging, and so the city of San Diego was accused of overcharging for water, and they were found guilty of it. So, like, who's really the ones who are overcharging? I don't know if the landlords are really are the ones to blame here. I think it's just going to create another level of bureaucracy, which will make homes and rents less affordable.
And I was talking to you off camera yesterday. We had a story about the water rate increases that are to come.
Yes.
And one of the reasons they said is imported water.
Yeah.
Why are we importing water? We have plenty of rain. We build reservoirs. We do the basic. It's just
water
it's
and
nonsense.
then parking. We're going to have to pay more for parking. And now if you park, you get a parking violation. It's going to be a lot of money. So, you know, San Diego is the 9th least affordable city in the nation. So we have to look at these rules that we keep putting in and kind of scale back, or else we're going to go to #1 again and be the least affordable again.
There's a reason people are moving out of California. Mark Powell, always good to talk to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your insight.